Okay, so we're going to review a little bit of how to make our animated GIFs by talking about how to add extra frames. So if you look down here at my camera, this is a two-page flip book that I made that has two frames for our animated GIF. We've got our elephant with the trunk pointing up, and then an elephant with the trunk pointing down. So what I did was I traced the head of the elephant in two different places. So I've got like my head here and my head here, and they line up to be in the same spot. And then when I move it back and forth really fast, it makes the motion of the elephant raising his trunk. And so that is this GIF over here as well, right? Now, if we wanted to make this a little bit more complicated, what we would do is add more frames. So remember when we cut our paper in half, we had an extra piece of paper that was the same size as this guy, and we can use that piece to add more frames. So we would fold it in half so that we got a paper that would look like this, that would then fit inside of this two-page flip book. So then we would have 4 pages. So again, we would have 4 frames in our GIF for our animation. So what we would do is we would look for the motions in between the exaggerated motion that we had the first time. So what I mean by that is that this trunk being up and then the trunk being down is a very dramatic motion, right? There could have been a lot of steps in between A and B, right? So what we want to do is imagine what those steps would look like. So I've got my second drawing here, and you can see that now I've got 4 different steps for that motion. So we've got the trunk facing up, we've got the trunk facing up still a little bit, but it goes off the edge of the page and it's starting to go down. Then we've got the trunk facing down, but it's still off the edge of the page, and now we can't see the end of his trunk. And then we've got our last one, which was the trunk facing down, right? So if I were to use those as my frames for my GIF, then you can see that the motion is a little bit more smooth, right? Like instead of it just going up and down and your brain kind of having to fill in that space, you've given 2 more drawings or 2 more frames to your animation to make that motion that the elephant is creating more smooth when you make the GIF. So again, you're going to take your pictures like I showed you guys before and upload them to your computer so that we can insert them into the Giphy website and create our GIF. So I've already taken my pictures and I've put them into my Google Drive. So you can see here that I've got my second set of pictures. So here was my first set of pictures, right? You can see the trunk up, the trunk down, and I've already downloaded those onto my computer, but now I need the 2 in-between drawings. So what I'm going to do is right-click on those pictures in my drive, and I'm going to download them. So I'm going to download both of these. And then I'm going to upload them to the Giphy website so that I can make my GIF have more than 2 frames, right? So again, I'm going to go to giphy.com. I'm going to create my next GIF, right? So here it was the first 2, right? I've got my trunk facing up and my trunk facing down, and we had it at 1 second. So we had it going about this fast. Now, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. I've already uploaded my first 2 pictures because I showed you how to do that in my previous video. But now I want to show you how we can add in our 2 extra frames so that this motion will be more smooth. So I'm going to browse files, and I'm going to look for the other 2 pictures. So I want this guy. I'm going to press open. He's in the wrong spot, so I'm going to need to move him. So you can see I've got up, down, and then in between over here. This in between needs to be in between these 2 pictures. So I'm just going to click on it. I'm going to drag it. And so now I've got a more smooth motion there. Do you see what's going on? I also did the same thing with his eye. Okay, so let's add our fourth picture. So again, I'm going to browse files, get that fourth picture in there. And again, I'm going to have to move it into the correct spot. So I'm going to click and hold on to this picture and drag him over here. So now I've got 4 separate images that are creating one smooth motion of my elephant with his trunk up going to his trunk down. However, I think the motion needs to be faster. So instead of 1 second, I'm going to use this bar right here and drag it down to be about half of a second. So that way the pictures will move across the screen faster and trick your eye into thinking that that elephant is moving his trunk. So again, I've got all 4 pictures here, and I've made the image duration about half of a second. And all I'm going to do is click continue to decorate down here. And then I can add my caption, I can add stickers, I can add filters. And when I'm done, I'm going to press continue to upload. Again, just like before in my last video, you could enter some tags here if you feel it's appropriate. But we're just going to upload it to Giphy. And then after we upload it to Giphy, we're going to use the link over here to put it into our document. So again, I'm going to go to copy link. I'm going to copy the middle one that says GIF link. I'm going to go ahead and put that into my document by clicking on the little mountain for insert image. I'm going to insert an image by URL, and I'm going to paste my URL here and insert my fancy elephant. So now I've got an elephant with 4 frames instead of 2 frames, and the motion seems a lot smoother. You can also see I did the same thing with his eye, right? It goes up, middle, and then down. So if you're looking to make your GIF into 4 frames instead of 2, this would be the process. Hopefully that was helpful. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day.